I will. Nicholas cast a glance in my direction, where security had me pinned in the corner before pulling Gwendolyn in, cupping the back of her head and kissing her deeply for the cameras. The room got louder instantly. Cheers, applause, the sound of champagne glasses clinking. It was deafening as the engagement unfolded. The energy inside the stock exchange soared to its peak. Flashbulbs went off in a frenzy, reporters jostling for the perfect shot, the glare so blinding it turned the entire room into a sea of white light. Gwendolyn melted into Nicholas' arms, her face a picture of blissful triumph as if she had just won the ultimate prize. Then a voice cut through the festive noise. Wait, isn't that Mr. Brickfield's ex? The celebratory air thinned in an instant. Heads swiveled, dozens of eyes locked onto me like I was some unwanted stain on their perfect evening. Nicholas and Gwendolyn, playing their roles to perfection, followed suit, turning slowly, deliberately, as if only just noticing me. Nicholas' lips curled ever so slightly, smug satisfaction flickering behind his eyes. Gwendolyn, on the other hand, made no effort to hide her amusement. Oh my god, why is she even here? Someone sneered. Didn't she get blacklisted? The murmurs grew, weaving through the crowd like wildfire. Soft chuckles, whispered jabs, all just loud enough to make sure I heard every single one. I heard she slapped her way to the top, and now that Mr. Brickfield dumped her, she's here making a last-ditch effort to crawl back. Unbelievable. There are literal photos of her sneaking into hotels with different men, and she still has the audacity to show up. She's beyond shameless. The insult rang out loud and clear with no attempt to hide it. Nicholas smirked, clearly enjoying the show. Letting go of Gwendolyn's hand, he took his time, strolling over to me wearing that perfectly rehearsed look of disappointment. Rose, he sighed dramatically, shaking his head like a father scolding a wayward child. How do you still not get it? I tried to let you walk away with some dignity, but you just keep coming back for more. You're embarrassing yourself. I met his gaze, unfazed, offering nothing in return. He took my silence as guilt, and his arrogance grew. Ladies and gentlemen, he announced, addressing the crowd like a performer taking center stage, I think it's time we cleared the air. There have been misunderstandings about Rose, but as someone who once cared for her, I feel obligated to tell the truth. The room hushed, eager for the drama. Yes, she was my fiancée, but behind closed doors, she was using her position to engage in inappropriate relationships with multiple clients. She was so desperate to close deals that she was willing to trade more than just negotiations. He sighed, feigning regret. I tried to help her, I really did, but she refused to change. In the end, I had no choice but to end things. Gasps rippled through the crowd, followed by hushed whispers. Some were scandalized, others amused, everyone entertained. Oh my god, poor Mr. Brickfield, he wasted so much time on a woman like her. Seriously, a guy like him stuck with that? What a joke. The crowd lapped up Nicholas' performance, showering him with sympathy while hurling insults at me. Gwendolyn, practically glowing with satisfaction, wrapped her arms around Nicholas and leaned in close. Nico, don't let her get to you, she murmured, her voice dripping with fake concern. She's not worth it. You have me now, and you'll always be by your side. Nicholas turned to her with a warm, adoring look, playing right into it. Gwen, I don't know what I'd do without you, he said, his voice thick with emotion. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. They gazed at each other like a scene out of a movie, completely ignoring me as if I were nothing. Then a group of influencers in the crowd suddenly whipped out their phones, opening their live streams. Guys, you are not gonna believe this, one of them cackled, aiming the camera straight at me. It's Rose, Mr. Brickfield's ex, was caught in 4K, the woman who slapped her way to the top, and now she's crashing her ex's big day. The absolute nerve. The comment section got crowded instantly. Wait, that's her? She actually looks kinda innocent. Who knew she was such a whole hurt? She got with half the company's clients' trash. Oh, poor Mr. Brickfield. Can you believe he was played by her for so long? A woman like that should be blacklisted. Shall never recover from this. The live stream chat was flooded with insults, but I barely reacted. I knew exactly what was happening. Nicholas and Gwendolyn had planned this down to the last detail. They wanted to make a spectacle out of my downfall, to destroy my reputation so thoroughly that I'd have no way back. Let them enjoy their moment. The higher they climb, the harder they'll fall. Nicholas must have sensed something was off. His smirk faltered, and he took a step closer, lowering his voice. Rose, what's your angle here? You think standing there in silence is gonna make me feel bad for you? I met his gaze, unbothered, and said nothing. Before he could push further, a group of high-profile investors approached. They glanced at me, then at Nicholas, their expressions skeptical. Mr. Brickfield, one of them spoke up, voice calm but firm. Are you certain about these claims against this young miss? For the first time, Nicholas hesitated. It was only a fraction of a second, but I caught it. Then he recovered, straightening his shoulders. Of course, he said quickly, everything I've said is the truth. You shouldn't let her fool you. She may look innocent, but behind closed doors she's. Before Nicholas could finish his sentence, one of the investors abruptly cut him off. Mr. Brickfield, are you sure about that? Miss Godfrey is one of our most trusted business partners. We've worked with her for years, and her professionalism and integrity speak for themselves. Nicholas' jaw tightened. He hadn't expected the investors to come to my defense. Sensing his hesitation, Gwendolyn quickly jumped in, her voice laced with urgency. Please don't let her fool you. Her so-called success was never about talent, it was about seduction. If you don't believe me, see for yourselves. Here is proof. She pulled out her phone and hit play. On the screen, a video showed me walking into a hotel lobby beside my brother. Out of context, the way we moved together could easily be misinterpreted. The investors exchanged uncertain glances. This Miss Godfrey, how do you explain this? One of them asked, frowning. I smiled faintly, unfazed, just as a group of elegantly dressed women approached. They glanced at the video, then at me, their expressions shifting from confusion to open disapproval. So it's you, you're the slut who's been screwing my husband? A perfectly manicured finger jabbed in my direction as a furious socialite stormed toward me, her designer heels clicking against the marble floor. Just like that, the floodgates opened. No wonder my husband's been working late every night. He's been too busy rolling around with you. You filthy little gold digger. Rose, you're disgusting, seducing half the men in this this room, and still acting like you belong here. The insults flew fast, each one sharper than the last. And yet for all their rage, not a single husband had the guts to step forward across the room. Nicholas and Gwendolyn stood side by side, their smiles widening with every accusation thrown my way. They thought they had me beat, that bringing in a pack of scorned wives to publicly humiliate me would be the final nail in my coffin. Gwendolyn put on her best concerned face and turned to the crowd. "Ladies, please," she said sweetly, "a woman like her isn't worth your time or energy." Nicholas nodded, barely hiding his smart grin. "Exactly. After today Rose is finished, no one in this industry will touch her." I let them enjoy their little victory for a second longer, then my phone rang. I answered with a calm, almost bored tone. "Do it." Nicholas and Gwendolyn stiffened, their smiles faltering. They had no idea what was coming, but from the way their eyes flickered with unease, they could feel it.